Om Shri Chinmay Sadgurave Namaha. Reading of the magazine Tapovan Prasad magazine for February 2026. कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्तः प्रणश्यति. Tapovan उवाच. Abandoning all other thoughts and considerations, concentrate the mind on the chosen ideal or the principle of self. Contents. Read and reflect. Swami Swarupananda. The witness, the well-wisher and the world controller, Swami Chinmayananda. Kathopanishad 46, Swami Tejomayananda. Meditation on Lord Shiva. Ascent into auspiciousness, Swami Swarupananda. God, Gurudev and my handkerchief, Swami Advayananda. Om Dehatitaya Namaha, Swami Siddhananda. Om Kalatitaya Namaha, Swami Chidrupananda. From Kailash with love, Prarthana Sharan. Chinmay Amrit Mahotsav launch. विश्वनाथ नमस्तुभ्यं विश्वमाया विलासिने. काशीकेश नमस्तुभ्यं केशवाद्यर्चिताम्भ्रये. My prostrations to thee, O Vishwanath, who is the very reality behind the delusory world of plurality. O Lord of Saumya Kashi, to thee my prostrations. Thy sacred feet are worshipped by Vishnu and other devatas. Shri Saumya Kashi Stotram 1.1. Swami Tapovan Maharaj. Guru Dhyanam. Nityaya Satyaya Chidatmakaya Navyaya Bhavyaya Paratparaya Shuddhaya Buddhaya Niranjanaya Namostu Nityam Guru Shekharaya. My constant prostrations to the Christ gem among Gurus, who is eternal, ever existent, and of the nature of consciousness, who is ever new, eternal, and holy, who is greater than the greatest, who is pure, enlightened, and untainted. Adi Guru Shiva, the lineage of light. Editorial. Lord Shiva manifests in countless forms, from the symbolic Shiva Lingam to the cosmic dancer Nataraja, from the fierce Bhairav to the enigmatic Ardhanarishwar, each revealing a distinct facet of the divine. For the spiritual seeker, moreover, his intimate manifestation is as the Adi Guru, the source of all knowledge and fountainhead of the Guru Parampara. This role shines in his dialogue with Goddess Parvati, to whom he imparted the Ramayana as a guide to discipline, dharma, and devotion. As Dakshinamurti, Shiva sits beneath the banyan tree, youthful and silent, while aged, spiritually mature disciples listen in reverence. The symbolism is clear. Both the Guru and the knowledge he imparts are timeless. This sacred parampara finds perfect expression in Shiva's Amsha avatar as Hanuman, the Guru, who brings solace and strength to the forlorn Sita in Ashoka Vatika. It attains philosophical clarity in Adi Shankaracharya, who through logic and soul-stirring hymns restored the Upanishadic vision that Brahman alone is real and the Jiva is none other than that. In our times, this lineage found a powerful voice in Pujya Gurudev, carried forward by Pujya Guruji and Pujya Swami Swarupanandaji, who made Vedanta accessible to all without diluting its depth. It is therefore deeply meaningful that the first temple consecrated by Pujya Gurudev was the Jagadishwara Mandir at Sandipani Sadhanalaya, Powai in 1968. Equally profound is the towering black Shivalingam on his kutia at Siddhabari, underscoring the indispensability of the teacher. As Adi Guru, Shiva teaches that the highest instruction is received through alertness, purity, and stillness, that the teacher ultimately transcends all forms. As the silent witness within, the Lord waits patiently to be recognized. May this Mahashivaratri be contemplative and elevating, illuminating His presence within and without. Read and reflect Swami Swarupananda. The world is an echo of your own personality. Offer love and it returns to you manifold. Our greatest wealth is inner mental wealth. From it arise both inner and outer prosperity. Feeling low, stand before a mirror and smile. Watch it reward you with a bigger one. When we see the one in the many, the love the divine present in all, love becomes everlasting. Attachment expects the beloved to be like you. Love accepts the beloved as they are. To experience lasting love, love the one who is permanent. Yajna is not sacrifice, it is any action performed with gratitude and a spirit of sharing. Love expresses itself through giving time, giving a smile, and forgiving. A poor person is not one without money, but one burdened with endless desires. The secret of wealth is simple. The more you share, the more it flows back to you. The Witness, the Well-wisher, and the World Controller. An article by Paramapuja Gurudev Swami Chinmayanandaji. In verse 18 of the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord gives us 11 arrow marks, 11 exercises for contemplation to turn our mind's attention towards Him. गतिर्भर्ता प्रभु साक्षी निवास शरणं सुरता प्रभव प्रलयस्थानं निधानं बीजमव्ययम्. I am the supreme goal of all living beings, and I am also their sustainer, master, witness, abode, shelter, and friend. I am the origin, end, and resting place of creation. I am the repository and the eternal seed. 11 arrow marks to the higher, Sakshi. He is the Lord of Lords, but He does not interfere in your life. Each one of you has complete freedom to do what you want according to your vasanas. What is He then? A mere Sakshi. It is in His light that everything is experienced by you. He is not involved in it, just as the sun is the Sakshi of the entire world. Witness Sakshi The word as it is used in law, in civil courts, is for the one who was present and saw what happened. Were you present there? Yes, sir. Did you see it? Yes. When was it? 15 months ago. What was the date? Was it Friday or Saturday? I don't remember. I don't know. I was not involved in it. I was just watching. In the same way, the Lord is only a Sakshi because He is consciousness in the light of which all your experiences are dancing about. He is the abode of the whole universe. Prabhu Sakshi Nivasah, meaning the universe exists and functions only in Him. He envelops everything. Sharanam. He is the only shelter you have. He is every individual's only shelter. Sharanam. Your insurance is no shelter. Your wealth is not assured, and your position and status are not certain. Nothing can shelter you from the sorrows of the world. He alone is the ultimate shelter for everyone. Our one harbor. Move towards Him. You are safe. However stormy the outer sea is, when you pull yourself into the harbor, you are safe. Likewise, He is the sole shelter. Turn towards Him. The world will be there. The situations are chaotic, and when it's all peaceful again, come out. You are safe there. You are sheltered. Surut, He is your greatest well-wisher, the greatest pal. Surut, He is a buddy. Do not doubt His words and question. Swamiji, you tell me that He is pervading everything, supporting everything. He is the boss of the whole universe, but I can't even reach the local boss. The higher a person's power in society, the less accessible he becomes. I am an ordinary fellow, and the Lord seems too big a person. He is the proprietor, owner, master, governor, controller of everything. How can I have an interview with him? Even an ordinary Rajiv is difficult, let alone Rajiv Gandhi. The local IAS officer is difficult. The commissioner is difficult. Then how can he be my friend? Bhagavan assures, do not fear. I don't need your security measures. I am your greatest pal and buddy. I am your friend, but you don't recognize me as a friend. I am always running after you to be friendly, but you don't recognize me. What am I to do? Prabhava Pralayasthanam. This is the place from which everything rises and disappears. Prabhavaha Pralayaha Sthanam. This is the source from which all thoughts arise, and this is where all thoughts disappear. Just as the ocean is the place from which all waves arise, where all waves exist and collide with each other, and the only place where they collapse and disappear, so too it is with you. All your thoughts and emotions, all your experiences rise into existence, play with each other, interact with other feelings and experiences, and then disappear into that consciousness. Nidhanam. He is a great treasure chamber. Nidhanam. Once you get the treasure, there is no more trouble. Put your hand in and take it out. It is the greatest treasure chamber, meaning once you reach there, your capabilities and abilities are infinite. He is the supreme treasure. Bijam. He is the seed, Bijam. This great state is the seed from which the entire tree of life, the tree of the cosmos, has emerged. Avyayam. He is innumerable, Avyayam, immutable, because he is not conditioned by time. He is timeless and therefore immutable. Each of these words points to that state. Each one is an exercise in meditation. To turn the mind in this direction is called mind in contemplation. There are 11 arrow marks. Each one is sufficient in itself to reach the goal, but you are still worried about which one to take. You ask, should I take one, two, or all of them? Take what you want, leave the rest. All of them are pointing in a single direction. Their purpose is to hold the mind's attention towards the higher. Bhagavan assures, I am the way and the goal, the destination and the path, the means and the end. Contemplate on me, reach me, and merge into me. Is that not exactly what you do every night? You contemplate upon sleep, arrive at sleep, and disappear into sleep. There you are in utter peace. But here, in this waking condition, everyone is disturbed, is it not? The Sakshi and the switchboard. The word Sakshi raises many doubts. Swamiji, your Hindu Lord is only a witness. He can do nothing. In his presence, everything is enlivened, but he seems to have no control. He only illuminates good or bad. He grants us full freedom to act according to our vasanas. If I act vulgarly, he illumines that. If I act nobly, he lights that. Then what kind of Lord is he? The teacher replies, true, you have been given complete freedom. The Lord will not interfere with your choices. However, He remains the Lord because He controls the environment. You act freely, but the field in which you act is entirely in His hands. Take the example of many elderly businessmen. In front of relatives and friends, they dramatically announce, I am retiring now. My children are capable, in fact, better than me. They know how to cut the throat without compensation. At least I used to give something. Everyone claps. The old man repeats it again and again until the whole world believes he has stepped aside. The children handle everything, purchasing, selling, staff, and accounts. The father no longer comes to the shop, except perhaps for an hour, because he has nothing else to do. But go and congratulate the children, and they will laugh. Swamiji, you have no idea at all. He has given nothing. The whole shop may be ours, but the checkbook is still in his hands. Every morning he must explain each payment. We must explain each payment. He asks, why? For what purpose? One explanation doesn't work. We repeat it 3 or 4 times until he finally grudgingly signs. Okay, if you want to destroy everything, okay. Meaning, the father appears retired, but the authority to sign checks remains all control in his hand. So too with the Lord. He gives us full freedom in action, but the large environment, the checkbook of the universe, remains entirely under His governance. In the same way, you too have been given complete freedom. Bhagavan says, I don't interfere with anyone. Each person acts according to his vasanas. That's all. That is all. Then you may ask, what does he control? He controls the environment, the field in which you and I function. So, if he wants to give you a gentle kick, he can still do it. Two switches remain in his hands, nothing else. What are those two? तपाम्यहमहं वर्षं निगृह्णाम्युत्सृजामि च अमृतं चैव मृत्युश्च सदसच्चाहमर्जुन. I radiate heat as the sun, and I withhold as well as send forth rain. I am immortality as well as death personified. O Arjun, I am the spirit as well as the matter. All that I do is tapami aham varshami nigrunnami utsrujami cha. This fire,
Jaya
this
Shri
heat is
Ram,
under
Jaya
my control.
Raghuram, Janaki Jeevana Sundar Ram.
Heat is the sign of life. A bare minimum temperature must be maintained for every one of you. If the temperature rises even a little, you are in the hospital. If it falls below normal, you are permanently hospitalized. Fever lasts only a few days, but a low temperature is real trouble. And if there is no warmth in the atmosphere, nothing will grow. He says further, Amrutam chaiva mrityuscha sadasaccha sat asaccha aham Arjuna. Arjun, I am what you call Amrut, the deathless Amrutam chaiva, that timeless, changeless, immutable factor is me. From the waking standpoint, the dream is not separate from me. All that appeared is in the dream are me alone. Similarly, the form and the formless, existence and non existence, all are me. Everything is I alone. Moreover, don't think I am hopeless and helpless because I have given you freedom. It is constitutional management. I have framed the constitution so that it appears as if man is free, but he is not absolutely free. I have kept certain strings with me. I can pull them and make you act properly because heat and rain are in my hands. If these two are with me, the entire climate is controlled. The climate decides the environment, the field in which you act. You have the freedom to act, but the field in which you act is ordered by me. With that, I can bring about any change in the individual or the community. I control the rain. I have two switches. With one switch, rain comes, bringing floods. With the other switch, no rain at all. No rain, all your efforts are gone, punished. Too much rain, punished. More severe winter, punished. Less winter and more summer, punished. My whip is constantly there. The slums and the suites of heaven. Now, in the next two verses, the concept of heaven gained through yajna, ritual, disciplined living, is being indicated. त्रैविद्या मां सोमपाः भूतपापा यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यमासाद्य सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अश्नन्ति दिव्यान् दिवि देवभोगान्. Those inclined toward the fruit-giving activities described in the Vedas worship me through ritual sacrifices, being purified from sin by drinking the soma juice, which is the remnant of the yajnas. They seek to go to heaven by virtues of their pious deeds. They go to the abode of Indra, the king of heaven, and enjoy the pleasures of the celestial gods. Traividya refers to those who have learnt all the three Vidyas, all the Vedic literature, the mantra portion, the Brahmana portion, and the Upasana portion. Those who have studied everything except the Upanishads. They remain in the Karma Kanda, the ritualistic portion of the Vedas. Those who are the Soma drinkers, Soma Paha, meaning those who have performed many ritualistic yajnas, Bhuta Papaha. Through this self controlled life and divine activities, they have earned a lot of punya. Their papas have been destroyed, their sins have been washed away, and merit has accumulated. Such people, yajnairištva swargatim prarthayante. By performing these yajnas and rituals, pray for Swargati with a desire in their heart. O Lord, may I go to heaven and enjoy all those exquisite, brilliant things, delicious food, beautiful girls, wonderful music, gracious climate. O Lord, I want to go. Having gained sufficient punya, reach merit through all these rituals, they go to heaven. And remember, the heaven there are slums too. In heaven there are slums too. You and I may go to heaven, no doubt, but where will we stay? In the slum area, the shacks. However, the person who has studied the Vedas, lived according to strict rules, and performed elaborate rituals many times, thereby accumulating substantial punya, is not placed in the slum area upon arrival. He is a very important person, VVIP. He gets a red carpet reception. And where is he given accommodation? In Surendra Lokam, in the poshest locality, in the area where Indra lives. It is like living on Pennsylvania Avenue, right next to the White House. Spotless, beautiful lights, streets cleaned there daily, extra police security. Electricity may fall everywhere else, but not in the president's house. Water supply may stop everywhere, but here the water gushes. Thus, because you have done so much punya, you are given the highest luxury, a five-star experience. You enjoy all the divine enjoyments of the devas. You enjoy and experience the highest standard of living imaginable. Divyam Divyan Divi Deva Bhogan. Kathopanishad 46, an article by Parama Pujya Guruji Swami Tejomayanandaji. The knowledge of an object is gained in two stages. One is the acceptance of the existence of the object with deep conviction and faith, Shraddha. The second stage is that of a proper inquiry using valid means of knowledge and a guide, a teacher, and these are required much more in the case of knowledge of the self because it is not an object of perception. That's why the first advice is to accept with Shraddha, but one must not stop there. One must search and find the truth of it. Let us see the next mantra. अस्तीत्येवोपलब्धव्यस्तत्वभावेन चोभयोः अस्तीत्येवोपलब्धस्य तत्वभावः प्रसीदति. Firstly, it should be accepted that this Parabrahma Tattva as the origin of this world, Atma Tattva as the Drashta, exists. Asti iti eva upalabdhavyah. Upalabdhavyah means jnatavyah, to be known, and svikartavyah, to be accepted. I may not know it, but I believe what the Shastras and the Guru have said, and after accepting this, it should be realized in its true essence. Tattva bhavena cha upalabdhavyah. These two things, ubhayoho, are essential for the seeker. One who believes the Guru and Vedanta Vakya and accepts that it is there, asti, finds the essence of the truth illumined. Tattvabhava prasidati, prakashitah bhavati. The essence of truth becomes manifest to him. Our Vedantika teachers tell a very interesting story about these two stages. In fact, it is quite well known. There were 10 not so intelligent students of a teacher. Once they went on a picnic. En route, they had to cross the river by swimming. When they reached the other shore, one of the students thought of counting to confirm whether all have reached safely. He had the students stand in a single line and began counting. To his dismay, he could see only 9 students. So they concluded that the 10th man had drowned and started crying. An elderly person asked them why they were crying. On knowing the reason, he smiled and assured them, "Don't worry, the 10th man is there, Dashamosti." He made them all stand in a line and started counting. He counted the 9, then approached the last student and said to him, "Tvam Dashamosi." The moment he heard this, the knowledge of the 10th was gained. Aham Dashamosmi. I am the 10th man. There are actually 3 stages here. Firstly, they know there is a 10th man, Dashamosti, though he is not to be found at that moment. He is thought of in the third person. When the wise man says, Dashamo Tvamasi, he understands that he is the 10th man. This is the second person, Tvam Asi. When he realizes that he himself is the 10th man, he says it is in the first person, Aham Dashamosmi. This is called Tattva Bhava, the essence of the matter. As long as we accept its existence, we say Brahma Asti. The Guru then says Tattvamasi. On realization, we say Aham Brahmasmi. In other words, to accept the existence by saying Asti is Paroksha Jnana, indirect knowledge. But when the person says Asmi, it is direct knowledge, Aparoksha Jnana. That direct knowledge, the realization, is the sole means of liberation. When the 10th man realized that he himself was the 10th man, all sorrow vanished. The scriptures say, Tarati Shokam Atmavid. The knower of the self goes beyond all grief. Harsha Shokau Jahati. He goes beyond the pairs of joys and sorrows. But the first stage is acceptance. Some people ask, can an atheist realize God? He can do so only if he believes that God exists. If the students in the above story had remained in denial, they would never have realized that all 10 were there. That is why the Upanishads say, Shraddhasva Saumya, have faith, my dear. Now, the question asked is, what is the state of the person who has the Tattva Bhava Prasad, blessings of realization? The next mantra tells us about that. यदा सर्वे प्रमुच्यन्ते कामा यस्य हृदि श्रिताः अथ मर्त्योऽमृतो भवति अत्र ब्रह्म समश्नुते. When, yada, irrespective of the day or time, the desires in the heart of this asya advanced seeker drop off. Sarve kamaha hridishritaha pramuchante. Then, atha, after getting the knowledge, prabodha anantaram, this mortal human being becomes immortal. Mrutyo amruto bhavati. Martyo amruto bhavati. He becomes Brahman here and now. Atra Brahma samashnute. He was always Brahman, but now he knows it too. Where are the kamanas, desires? The mantra says Rudisthitaha, in the heart. Some texts say they are in the buddhi. The Gita says they are in the mind. Manogata gatan kamam. It is important to know that the desires are said to be in the buddhi, manas, or the heart, and not in the atma. Kamana is mano dharma, not atma dharma. That is why we can get liberation. At the outset, when the seeker receives inspiration, he has certain desires and attachments. He must make an effort to give up these, even though he has a high goal in front of him. There is also the pull of his desires. He has to put in the effort to develop vairagya. However, for the realized person, it is said that he need not leave his desires, rather, desires leave him. You must have noticed that if a person is highly extroverted, always enjoying parties and outings, he has many like minded friends. Suppose he joins an ashram. These very friends find him useless for their purpose and turn away. They leave him of their own accord. He does not have to do it. That's why there is a saying, You change, and the people around you will change. But if you cling to your desires, then people with those tendencies will only be around you. You cannot hold on to the desires and uh, try to turn those people away. The mantra says that desires leave a realized person. On careful analysis, we find that all our desires are not really for those specific objects, but for the happiness that we think they will bring. So the desire is for everlasting happiness. Shashvata Sukham. When a person comes to realize that this Atma, Brahma, is Ananda Swarupa, he stops running after those objects as unalloyed happiness is already with him. The desire for objects also drops off. The Gita says, Rasopyasya param društva nivartate. When the highest truth is realized, even the test of all other things goes away. This is the glory of the Masters. Jnani na Vaibhavam. If we analyze the nature of these desires, we find that they arise because of the superimposition of ideas of beauty, happiness, and so on the respective objects, and that makes us run after them. These kamas, created by our own sankalpa, are dropped once we understand their delusory nature. These desires should not be compared with the desires for fulfilling the essential needs of the body, like thirst or hunger, which are only for sharira dharana, sustaining the body. Then, after this knowledge takes place, prabodhanantaram, the mortal being Martya realizes that he is the deathless immortal being. Amruto Bhavati, he realizes that he is Brahma, which is Sat Chaitanya, Sat Chaitanya Ananda Swarup. Atra Brahma Samashnute. The Taittiriya Upanishad describes it as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. This realization comes while still living in this world. So, it is called Jivan Mukti. The Shastras call it Sadhyo Mukti, instant liberation, immediate liberation, because it happens even while living in this world in the present body. As soon as the knowledge is gained, the person gets mukti. Generally, by mere knowledge of something, we do not get it. For example, by merely gaining the knowledge of heaven, one does not reach there. But in Brahmajnana, the moment one realizes that what the Guru says, Tattvamasi, there is mukti. Hearing the Guru's Upadesha, the well prepared student recognizes it instantly and is liberated. After that, he does not have to do anything. In the story, after learning from the elderly man that he was the 10th man, he immediately realized it without doing anything further. We are now curious to know how and when the hold of desires leaves us. That is answered in the next mantra. यदा सर्वे प्रभिद्यन्ते हृदयस्येह ग्रन्थयः अथमर्त्यो मृतो भवति तावध्यनुशासनम्. When yada the knots of the heart, indriyasya granthayah, are all snapped or cut asunder, sarve prabhidyante. Here itself, iha, then the mortal realizes that he is immortal. Atha martyo amruto bhavati. The teacher concludes by saying, Etavadhi Anushasanam. This much alone is the teaching. Nothing further needs to be told, as nothing more exists to be told. एष उपनिषत् एतद् अनुशासनं न अतः परं किञ्चित् अस्ति सर्ववेदान्तानां. This is the conclusion of all Upanishads. Now, let us try to understand the meaning of knots of the heart. It cannot be detected by medical means and removed through surgery. Generally, the meaning of Hridaya is heart. In Vedanta, the word Hridaya itself is a knot because there is a sandhi in it. Ruth plus ayam is Hridayam, and Ruth refers to Atma. Ayam indicates this body. Ayam dehaha. The Atma and the body becomes one in such a way that we say, I am the body. I am dehaha aham asmi, so that itself as the granthi knot. This knot is formed because of ignorance. So the first knot of the heart is avidya, ignorance of our true nature as Sat Chaitanya Ananda Swarupa. Sat means eternal, but I think I am time bound and get afraid of death. Chaitanya is Jnana Swarupa, but we are afraid because of ignorance. Next, Ananda Swarupa means blissful, but we are always unhappy and think, I am the most miserable person. As a result, Kamana, desire, arises. One cannot live in a sorrowful state, so one thinks, I must gain happiness. Since I am ignorant of my Ananda Swarupa, my mind seeks happiness outside. The mind projects happiness onto external objects. Then the desire for those objects arises. Sankalpa Prabhavan Kaman, all born out of fanciful imagination. And once the desire has come into the mind, it becomes so irresistible that one does not listen to any amount of caution or warning against fulfilling it. With this kamana, one gets into action, karma. Avidya is one, but the kamanas and accordingly the karmas are many. Moreover, the desires keep changing. The person wants more and more and a variety of things. The person doesn't care what means fair or foul he adopts to fulfill these desires. When the karmas are done, the karma phala follows. You might forget what you have done, but in Prakriti, nothing is forgotten. As is one's knowledge, so is one's karma. Yatha karma, yatha shrutam. When we experience the outcomes of these actions, More desires arise. When one body is dropped, another body is subjected to those results. The vasanas, cravings are created and the cycle goes on. The Upanishad says that when you see that Paramatma Tasmin Drushte Paravare, you realize that, and then the knots snap off. Bhidyate Hridaya Granthi. The root cause is avidya, and when that is removed, all the kamanas and the kamas and the karmas in their pursuit also end. Thus, that jiva, which was subject to time and change, to the process of aging and death, becomes immortal. Amruto bhavati. In fact, he realizes that he is already immortal. That is his true nature, Swarupa. Immortality is his very nature, Swabhava, and not to be acquired from somewhere. Swabhavat amruteshu teshu अथ स्वभावादमृतेषु तेषु. So, Yamaraja says to Nachiketa, Etavadhi Anushasanam. Only this much teaching can be given. This is the Upadesh of the entire Vedanta Shastra, and there is nothing higher than this. There cannot be anything greater or higher than Brahman. That's why in Prashnopanishad also the Rishi says, Nataf Paramasti, there is nothing higher or beyond this. Parabrahma Paramatma is the infinite reality. There is nothing more than that. We shall see the concluding mantras of the Upanishad in the next issue. An article by Mukhya Swami Swarupanandaji. Meditation on Lord Shiva, ascent into auspiciousness. This highest contemplation is possible only when the seeker possesses deep knowledge and a single pointed meditative mind capable of lifting itself toward that which is transcendental. The rishis understood that to reach this state of inner quietude, the mind must become subtle and pure enough to touch that which lies beyond both the mind and intellect. Because every mind evolves through distinct stages of maturity, the seeker requires guidance and support. Therefore, to prepare the student, meditation on Ishvara is prescribed. This discipline refines the steadies the mind, enabling it to eventually take flight toward the contemplation of that which is formless, attributeless, and devoid of all objectifications. Meditation on the manifest. The universe we perceive is so vast that its boundaries remain unknown, even with all its advances. Science has uncovered only a small fraction of its mysteries. To meditate on the manifest is to recognize the Lord's might, wisdom, power, and governance from our limited individuality. We lift the mind to appreciate the wondrous totality. From there, we transcend both the individual and the cosmic to arrive at the substratum, the one truth that appears as Ishvara, the Lord of creation, and as Jiva, the individual being. The substratum of all three, the individual, the totality, and the Lord, is the one infinite reality called Brahman. In Sanskrit, Brahman means the infinite. To recognize this infinite as our true nature, the seeker must inquire, who am I? Who is Ishwar? What is this creation? When these inquiries culminate successfully, they lead to fulfillment, joy, and utter freedom. From the tangible to the transcendent, let us now contemplate on a beautiful mantra from the Kaivalya Upanishad. Simply reflecting on it becomes meditation. Understanding the meaning of its words allows us first to envision the outward manifestation, the form, the same verse then leads us inward from the form to the subtle, from the subtle to the subtlest, and finally to the beyond. This form is not a limitation, it is an indicator, a teaching, a sacred symbol pointing to the infinite. Through Shiva's form, we ascend towards the formless. The Rishi declares, Uma Sahayam Parameshwaram Prabhum Trilochanam Neelakantham Prashantam ध्यात्वा मुनिर्गच्छति भूतयोनिं समस्तसाक्षीं तमसः परस्तात्. By meditating upon Lord Parmeshwar accompanied by Mother Uma, the Supreme Lord, the All-Powerful, the Three-Eyed, the Blue-Throated, and the Ever-Tranquil, the contemplative seeker reaches Him who is the very source of the manifested world, the witness of all, and the one who is beyond all darkness. Sit comfortably with your back upright and your eyes gently closed. Let the body relax, the breath soften and mind slowly gather into itself. Invoke Puja Gurudev in your heart, the compassionate one who removes ignorance and reveals the self. Bow mentally with reverence, gratitude, and humility. Bring into your heart the vision of Shiva, seated in still majesty, bathed in a soft radiance. His presence vast yet intimate, powerful yet gentle. Beside him sits Uma, his Shakti, the embodiment of knowledge. Together they express the unity of consciousness and power, the union from which all creation arises. Let devotion arise naturally. Now allow the mantra to arise inwardly. Uma Sahayam Parameshwaram Prabhum Trilochanam Neelakantham Prashantam. Contemplate on the Lord through each sacred indicator. Uma Sahayam. In the Vedas, the word Shiva denotes the Supreme Self, who is all auspicious, the creative power and potential Shakti of the infinite consciousness, in whom there are no limitations. manifests as Devi, Maya, or Uma. The word Uma Sahayam conjures a beautiful picture of Lord Shiva seated with Parvati Devi. It means that the Supreme, with his Maya Shakti, becomes the creator, sustainer, and dissolver of the entire universe, Ishvara. Visualize the Supreme Lord, Parameshwara, and his creative power, Maya Shakti. Everything functions under his power, intelligence, and presence. He is not a mighty governor or God sitting in heaven, administering systematically and properly. He is everywhere, He is all pervading. Recognize that Supreme Lord subjectively within you as the consciousness in whose presence your inert body functions, in whose presence the senses can see, hear, smell, and taste, in whose presence the senses, mind, and intellect go through various experiences, in whose presence the body can move, the mind can think, and the intellect can rationalize, in whose presence this shower, this inert matter becomes Shiva, becomes conscious. Picture the sun, it illuminates and energizes everything. The sun does nothing. All activities occur in its presence. In the same way, consciousness is not doing anything, but all activities take place in its presence. Turn your attention inward. Observe how the mind, when anchored in a sacred indicator, becomes more receptive and quieter. This is why the Rishi prescribed contemplation on the manifest. The form steadies the mind and helps it drop agitation. The purpose is not to hold on to the form indefinitely, but to use it to rise into subtle inquiry. Let the form silently bless the mind and then step aside as you move towards the essence behind it. Bring your awareness to the vast order that pervades the universe. Reflect on the intelligence that holds the cosmos together. The planets do not collide, the seasons unfold precisely, the breath continues without your command. This universal order does not depend on belief, it reveals itself directly through observation. Let your mind expand to take in this quiet, all pervading universal law. Remain with the recognition that behind every phenomenon, from the movement of stars to the beating of your heart, there is an unwavering intelligence. Allow this thought to lift your mind from its habitual preoccupation with the limited personality. Notice the shift from the narrowness of I to the vastness of everything. Functions under one silent governance. Stay with this expansion for a while. Offer your ego, your fears, and your burdens at the feet of Shiva Uma. Let Shiva's knowledge illumine your understanding. Let Uma's compassion refine your heart. Prabhum. Reflect on the cosmic intelligence through which Shiva sustains all laws, all rhythms, all order. The planets move by His will, the breath flows by His grace. Your life unfolds under His omniscient watch. Whisper inwardly, O Shiva, guide my thoughts, purify my intentions, align my actions with the harmony of your universe. Trilochanam, the Lord of the universe, is described as having three eyes, representing the three luminaries, the sun, the moon, and fire. These eyes represent the illumination that allows us to perceive the world through our senses. There is also another interpretation. His first eye symbolizes justice, the unfailing discernment of right and wrong. His second eye symbolizes compassion, suggesting that decisions should be made with a tenderness that protects and forgives. His third eye symbolizes knowledge, the power that burns ignorance and reveals truth. Pray silently, O Shiva. Open my inner eye, destroy all falsehood within me. Kindle in me clarity, compassion, and the courage to live by Dharma. Neelakantham, a beautiful story linked to Shiva's blue neck, illustrates his might, wisdom, and power as the Lord of compassion. He removes all our mind's poisons, toxins, and agitations. Therefore, as we reflect on Shiva's image as the perfect meditator, we gradually imbibe some of his qualities indicated here. He held the poison of the universe without letting it touch his heart or mind. This sacred form teaches us to face difficulties without allowing bitterness to enter. Be like him. Neither lash out in anger nor become bitter with the world. Remain unaffected by the venoms of life. Pray to the Lord and transform them into an ornament of love, wisdom, and kindness. You may not have a form of God in your mind. You may not believe in any religion, yet you admit to the presence of a higher power and recognize the compassionate nature of the force behind the entire cosmos. Thus, when you contemplate on this compassionate, ever loving, ever forgiving, and ever helpful Lord, He destroys all your negativities. Bring your own pains, resentments, fatigues, and wounds to Shiva, offer them to Him. Feel your mind becoming higher, lighter, and happier. Prashantam, when the mind is restless, difficult to calm, and disinclined to meditate, visualize the calm, peaceful Shiva, a Buddha in meditation, or a beautiful natural scene. Instantly, as it dwells on a serene form, it calms down and attains a relative state of quietude. Those who have mastered their minds and are people of reflection and knowledge quickly attain the state of prashantam, tranquil, cheerful, and calm. Feel his ever cheerful, peaceful presence. See him seated in profound stillness, untouched by agitation, unmoved by change. As your mind dwells on this serene form, your restlessness begins to settle. Your breath becomes rhythmic and thoughts subside. Your thoughts subside. Your mind becomes quiet and your entire being grows calm. With a Shraddha filled mind, contemplate on the beauty of the Lord, His mighty powers, and His all loving, benevolent, protective nature, and see how your mind becomes relaxed and serene. Beyond ignorance, ध्यात्वा मुनिर्गच्छति भूतयोनिं समस्तसाक्षिं तमसः परस्तात्. When such a contemplative, knowledgeable sage meditates on the form, he reaches the very womb of creation. Gacchati Bhutayonim. He is the witness of the entire universe. Samasta Sakshi. He is the witness of all, the entire world of matter, his own body, mind, intellect, and everything else, one with consciousness. He is ever aware of both the knowledge and ignorance, and hence he is beyond the darkness of ignorance. The beautiful images of our deities were revealed to the great rishis so that people may have a personified form of the Lord to worship, adore, and meditate on. After that, when a pure, single minded mind contemplates on the nature of the Lord, the nature of the self, and the nature of truth, as pointed out in the Upanishads, it discovers its own true nature, which is beyond both knowledge and ignorance. Tattvam Asi. It is the light of your own consciousness, the witness of your thoughts, the knower of your knowledge and ignorance, the unchanging reality behind every experience. You are not the body or mind, you are the awareness in whose presence the body moves and the mind thinks. You are that consciousness in whose light Shiva's form is understood and transcended. You are the infinite self that the Upanishads declare. Carry this sense of calm and acceptance as you go about your day. Remain for a few moments in this silent identity, beyond form, beyond thought, beyond limitation. Gently deepen your breath, return awareness to the body, and softly open your eyes. Om Tat Sat. God, Gurudev, and my handkerchief, an article by Pujya Swami Advayanandaji. Destiny is the experience in the present of the result of one's actions done in the past. Destiny is termed prarabdha in Vedanta. Purusha prayatna or purushartha is the self effort that an individual puts forward in the present while facing the destiny. We have two contesting theories. The Purusharthavad claims that self effort is all powerful and man's life depends solely on his self effort. The advocates of this theory claim that there is no difficulty in life that cannot be overcome by an individual's self efforts. Second, the Prarabdhavad argues that man is but a helpless victim of his destiny. An objective analysis of both Purusharthavad and Prarabdhavad reveals that neither theory neither neither theory presents a complete picture of life, as both Prarabdha and Purushartha play significant roles. Self effort often conquers difficulties fashioned by destiny, and therefore self effort is vital in life. However, it is also a fact that there are occasions when even our best efforts fail. Indeed, not all situations in life are under our complete control. In the context of Purushartha overcoming Prarabdha, Vedanta speaks of three types of Prarabdha: Manda, weak, Madhyama, mediocre, and Tivra, strong. Manda Prarabdha, being weak in nature, is overcome by minimal self effort. Madhyam Prarabdha can be conquered by strong self effort alone, and Tivra Prarabdha is rarely overcome by self effort. But then comes the question, how does one know whether the Prarabdha is weak or mediocre or strong? Indeed, there is no way to know that beforehand until we engage our Prarabdha without our Purushartha. That which can be easily overcome is Manda. That which is overcome by diligent effort is Madhyama, and that which remains unconquered despite our persistent self efforts is Tivra. This complete philosophy of Prarabdha and Purushartha has often been explained by Gurudev in his talks as well as writings, and all this made sense to me as a student at Sandipani. But when I tried to see this Prarabdha Purushartha theory in relation to the Vedantic concept of Ishvara, I had difficulties in comprehension, for when I tried to harmonize the concepts of Prarabdha, Purushartha, and Ishvara, there arose a stumbling block. Vedanta envisages Ishvara, the Lord, the creator of the world, as omniscient and omnipotent. That is Sarvajna and Sarvashaktiman, respectively. But if it is the individual's prarabdha and purushartha that governs his life, how can Ishwar be conceived of as omnipotent? Well, one may argue that it is Ishwar alone who has set the governing rule that man's life will depend upon his prarabdha and purushartha, and thus logically substantiate Ishwar's omnipotence. However, I tried, I could not reconcile Ishvara's omniscience and the concept of individual will and self effort. For months, I strove for clarity but made no headway. Discussions with my fellow brahmacharis did not solve my question. For all my doubts, our wise Acharya was the solution. But when I asked him this question, all I received was an endearing, enigmatic smile that seemed to suggest you are right and wrong as well. Gradually, I began to believe that there is no self effort. At best, self effort is a misnomer. But what if I were wrong? When can, who can give me clarity? This question of self effort was gnawing at me. All of us brahmacharis had reached Siddhabari to attend Puja Gurudev's Viveka Chudamani marathon camp. I thought I must explore this topic with him, not just get a yes or no from him, but rather discuss with him in detail. But Gurudev was ever besieged by devotees, and it was impossible to catch him alone. I had to look for an opportunity when he would be surrounded by the fewest people. Fortunately, that occasion arose. Between the Vivek Chudamani camps, there was always a free day when the
उनके सहायक श्री बजरंगी उनके सहायक श्री बजरंगी सिर पर सीता